Let's get responses from the minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker, there are three parties that are involved in this. I will only stick to the areas that concern me as the minister responsible, that is issuing notice of termination and then formation of the Winding Up Commission if I did it in accordance with the law. And page 26 and point number 3. Point number 3, having rested the point that whether I consulted or did not consult, I actually did consult and it has been confirmed in the committee report. And I still want to confirm that I consulted and followed the concession agreement that was written by the Land Attorney General. Now, recommendation number 3 says, Honorable Anita Evelyn should take political responsibility for her involvement regarding the performance and the unfair termination of the concession agreement and consider resigning as a minister. My response to this is that I shall not resign even when I have gained enough capacity to be a private citizen, but I am not going to resign because I did the right thing for the just cause of the country.
Just, we could make a correction on that, not taking a political responsibility. Not taking a political responsibility. It was a collective responsibility under Article 117.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring out this point that Tibet Hima, Right Honorable Speaker, I speak as a citizen and it really touched me so much and to the level of actually angering me. The fact that Tibet Hima in the Winding Up Commission, no, it's not to do with this. I'm bringing another point. That our point of departure with Tibet Hima as government of Uganda and is the fact that they wanted 30,000, and they put this in writing, 30,000, and it's here in this report, 30,000 metric tons of copper concentrates, which combine of gold, copper, 30,000 tons. Right, Honorable Speaker, you're a businesswoman. You know how much 1 ton only weighs. 1 ton. But these guys, as a competent businesswoman that I know, you will understand what these people were trying to do. Fleece the government of Uganda and the people of Uganda of their natural resources. I actually expected to be given a medal by the committee for saving government of Uganda and the citizens of this country from robbery of 30,000 minerals of the people of Uganda. This is the future of our citizens. I came at a
There's
point.
A clarification somebody wants.
I came at a point.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. In the same spirit, Madam Minister, now that you require a medal for saving Uganda, the report of the committee said, after rejecting the 30,000 they had requested, you didn't respond whether you were giving them 1 or 10 or 5. So we wanted to know from your office, which kilograms were you ready to give and why didn't you give them the one you felt could be sufficient for them to do the testing?
Right, Honourable Speaker. Right, Honourable Speaker, the Minister in charge of Energy and Minerals will tell you under our Mineral or Mining Act how much quantity is required to be taken out of the country as samples. And she would surely come to this House and respond. But the truth is, even because I don't want to do her job, she will respond and tell us the quantities. But to just answer him directly, Right Honourable Speaker, the committee make reference of the meetings and the intervention of General Salim Saleh. All these were meetings that we had in the office. And I held these meetings together with the President in State House, and the rejection and telling them that they cannot take 30,000 tons was done by not myself, but by the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in my presence and in the presence of the investors. So they cannot say we did not give them a feedback of whether they can take the 30,000 metric tons. Right, Honourable Speaker, 30,000. Right, Honourable Speaker, I've gone through the entire report. There were only 2 issues that concern me. One is whether I actually acted in accordance with the law, and I thank you for responding to that. The other is that if I didn't act according to the law, I should take a political or whatever responsibility. I have answered it. I am a very proud and happy citizen that I did my job and terminated the concession of Kilembe mines.
Thank you.
I'm really concerned about the legal matter, yeah? Aside from who saved what and that kind of thing, that all can be conjecture. But the law, which I'm concerned about, there's a court matter. There was a verdict of court. Court dismissed this petition and said go to arbitration. Can we be updated? What happened? How far, if at all, did the arbitration go?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I appreciate the issue raised by the Leader of Opposition. It is true, Tibet Hima went to court and their suit was dismissed, specifically for the reason that the concession upon which they were basing their suit had a proviso that any dispute relating to the concession should be taken for arbitration first. So they had not taken the matter for arbitration and instead gone to court. And court said, no, you do not have jurisdiction here. Your first instance should be arbitration as long as the concession is the one on which you are basing your suit. That's the reason as to why it was dismissed.
Honourable Speaker, when court orders that go and do arbitration, you are meant to give a report back to court. Because court gave its guidance. So how did this matter end? What is your remedy? Because I want to be sure that Parliament is the remedy. Because also, as we are determining this matter, regardless who, yeah, court was involved. So if court is saying, I am dismissing your suit, you should have gone for arbitration. Did it happen? Because that's an option that they did not explore at the first instance. What is the latest update, AG?
Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm glad Lop has brought it out the way he has. Now, allow me use his position to clarify. I want you to understand, when the report was read and presented, they talked of suits that were dismissed, okay? But there was also a suit that succeeded. The suit that succeeded is a suit of Gilbert Mujogia, a son of the king of Toro, who was a shareholder in Kilembe, who was not consulted or involved in the negotiation of the concession. He woke up one day only to realize Tibet Hima and the government had entered a concession, and yet he was a part owner of the mine who was not consulted. So he challenged that in court. And on the basis of his challenge, court nullified...
That's on page 28.
Yes, court nullified the concession. Right Honourable Speaker, the government of Uganda advertised for an international bidder to come and run Kilembe. Okay? The presumption is that the government of Uganda has done all due diligence and involved each and every person who is required. And Tibet and others willing put in their bids. Tibet won the bid and signed a concession. Along the way, the concession was cancelled for one reason or another. But whether that concession had been cancelled or not, Mujogia, a shareholder in Kilembe, decided to challenge the legality of the concession itself, because he was a shareholder who was left out, was not involved. You understand? And on the basis of that, court said this concession was void ab initio. It was wrong from the start. And because it was wrong from the start, government is the one that invited Chilembe and gave them a concession, which later turned out to be non-existent. Remember, they had already paid and committed their finances, resources, time and money. So they choose to come here with a petition. You make a decision as Parliament.
As whether they should be given a compensation?
Yes.
Whether they should be returned their money. Just a minute. The petitioners have come here because you cancelled the concession. And they are saying you cannot cancel the concession and again take away the money. That is what the petitioners have come to say here. So we have to decide as a country, should we defraud
The court decided already.
the investors? Is that what we are trying to do?
To the Attorney General. Attorney General, please do guide us. What gets to be the ultimate remedy? Because my worry is whatever we pass here in Parliament will be taken as advisory and government can choose to follow it or not to follow it. So if somebody was defrauded, as you're saying, right, Honourable Speaker, and then Parliament cannot help them because it will be advisory, how do we cover ourselves as a country so that tomorrow investors don't say,
Exactly.
we shall not come, you're defrauding us?
Yes.
Also, how do we make sure an investor does not defraud us? So that's the legal direction that I'm hoping the Attorney General helps us with.
You see, the ideal thing to do is to look at the prayers of the petitioner in the petition. What are they praying for? And based on the facts as they have been set before you, you are able to determine what prayers they qualify for and what they do not. They had acted upon it, invested, paid money. Do we simply say you paid for something that does not exist? That's why I'm saying I do not want to be the one now to make the decision for Parliament.
Yes.
I want Parliament to make a decision, but guided by the prayers.
Yes, Honourable Anita.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Perhaps before we go to the next item, I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the House that whereas Tibet Hima paid part of the concession fee in that concession agreement, which was a nullity, they also benefited from government through sale of electricity, which the UETCL, Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited, for power supply for Mobuku 1 hydro projects. So even in that nullity, they still were collecting money from government. So I would like to ask the August House that I want to ask the August House that we pass the report with amendment, because I have no responsibility.
Yes.
That we go and reconcile against the money that they made, and then we come back and report to this House.
Or you pay them, or
whichever,
they
because they also took money from us in this illegality. They also made money.
What the amendment we are making is removing from political responsibility to collective responsibility. I now put a question that the report on the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources on petition by Tibet Hima Mining Company Limited against termination of their concession agreement with the government of Uganda be adopted by this Honourable House with amendment of political responsibility to collective responsibility be adopted by this House. Those in favour say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.